be treated.
HTS presents Major League Baseball tonight, live from Baltimore's Camden Yards. It's the Cellular One Orioles report. A hot, humid evening tonight as the Orioles try to break out of a losing streak that has lasted 4 games. Will Clark taking some tune-up swings, trying to come back from an Achilles tendon problem, or actually a hamstring problem, and he should be coming off the disabled list in the not-too-distant future. Hot, humid evening here. Hello, everyone. Tom Davis, your host for the next half hour on the Cellular One Orioles report. Pedro Martinez starts for Boston. The Orioles counting with Sidney Ponson, and the Orioles try to overcome last night's 11-4 loss. We're going to pick up action in this game where it was tied up at 4-4 before the bullpen caved in, and we're going to show you how the Orioles tied this game up in the 4th inning as Cal Ripken came to bat last night, and he hit his 409th career home run. Now, Cal's not going to be able to play tonight because of some soreness in his back, but this home run put the Orioles down 4-2, and then Brady Anderson, the next batter up here in this sequence, comes through with a 2-run double over the head of the center fielder, and Charles Johnson scores, so does Mike Bordick. Brady had led off the game of his 38th career leadoff home run, second only to Ricky Henderson in Major League Baseball. At that point, the game was tied at 4, but then 6 in the 6th for Boston. Andy Sheets playing for the injured Nomar Garciaparra delivers an RBI single there, put Boston on top. Then Carl Edwards, boy, he likes this ballpark, there's no doubt about that. 3 hits last night, including his home run to Utah Street. 25th player to hit Utah Street, 429-foot home run, and Carl's thanking the good Lord up there as the Red Sox rally for 6 in this 6th inning. Wilton Veras made it 9-4 Boston, and the Red Sox go on to an 11-4 win after Veras came through with a 2-run double there as that runner is safe at the plate. The bullpen last night for the Orioles gave up 5 runs over the last 5 1/3 innings, while the Red Sox gave up none, so that's a big factor in the ball game as both teams' starters gave up 4 over the first 4 innings. Now, Pedro Martinez starts tonight. He's coming off of a 5-game suspension. Now, if you're not sure how he got suspended, we're going to show you why. Too tight to Robbie Alomar. Alomar took exception to this. Pedro took exception to Robbie Alomar, and Pedro wound up getting suspended for 5 games. Now, he was probably going to wind up starting last night, but the only thing they do is they realign the rotation, and you only miss a day, basically. Pedro Martinez coming off the suspension list, and here's what's at stake. Pedro Martinez returns from the 5-game suspension. He's 5-1 with a sparkling 1.22 earned run average. The Orioles are 18-40 against the American League East over the last 2 seasons, including 5 straight losses to the Red Sox, and Charles Johnson in the last 4 games has 5 doubles. So that's a look at the Ruth Chris, what's at stake, and what's at stake for the Orioles with Mike Hargrove and Mike Regai will be back in just a moment. Here's the Orioles report continues in a moment.
Hi, Melanie Russell. Welcome to the all-new Russell Toyota. We're celebrating with some fantastic grand opening specials.
It's your choice. Drive home a new 2000 Camry for $1 over invoice or just $219 a month. Drive home a new 2000 Corolla for $1 over invoice or just $189 a month.
We built a state-of-the-art facility to serve you better. And we're convenient to you on Route 40 West. Or visit us at russellautomotive.com. Russell Toyota, we are customer-driven.
A heating and cooling system must be reliable, so people worldwide rely on Carrier. And chlorine-free Puron refrigerant makes our most advanced indoor weather systems our most reliable yet, in whatever space you call home.
In Maryland, call Bel Air Engineering for a Puron system and save up to 40% on your heating and cooling costs. Puron and Bel Air Engineering means reliability, comfort, and efficiency. Call Bel Air Engineering at 1-888-8-BEL-AIR.
Custom-made indoor weather.
You've got a family. You need to communicate. So we're going to help you out with Cellular One's Digital Edge family plans. They're great. One bill for up to 4 mobile phones, plus free phone-to-phone service. Call each other as much as you want for free. First 2 phones, $29.99 a month. Next 2, just $14.99 a month each. The more phones you get, the more you save. You get included minutes and free select mail, so you never miss a call. Cellular One's Digital Edge family plans. Start communicating with your family and save.
At Giant, our fresh ideas don't just happen. They're grilled with an Italian flair. They make a quick toss and send your taste buds reeling with flavor. Our fresh ideas put the in morning and stem from the very heart of nature. We've got fresh ideas, great values too, at Giant.
As we get back to the yard right here on Orioles Report, it's time to talk to the manager of the Orioles, the Jim Coleman Honda Mike Hargrove Report, as we get set for Game 2 of this series, the O's and the Boston Red Sox. Mike, tonight with Pedro Martinez on the mound, and I guess most people consensus-wise, either Pedro or Randy Johnson, take your pick, two of the best pitchers in baseball. But is it important for Sidney Ponson? We know the juices flow to face of Pedro, but is it important for Sidney not to make this a personal matchup and try to outduel Pedro, but go about what you have set up to get the Red Sox lineup out?
Well, yeah, it is. It's very important for Sidney to understand that Pedro's not trying to hit the baseball, that it's the Red Sox and their hitters that are at the plate trying to beat Sidney. And Sidney needs to concentrate on taking care of his business and not worry about what Pedro's doing, with our hitters. If Sidney does that, then Sidney has the ability to be able to match Pedro. I really believe that. Sidney's got outstanding stuff, and Sidney hopefully one day will develop into, what Pedro is, or close to what Pedro is today. But Sidney can't go out there and worry about Pedro. If he does that, then he really is behind the 8 ball from the get-go.
Sidney threw very well last Sunday in his last start in New York. Unfortunately, we've had some situations flare up with Cal Ripken. The back again is causing him a little bit of discomfort. Mike, exactly what is it, and is there a prognosis, or are we just going day to day?
Well, it's been explained to me, and as an inflammation of the nerve caused by scar tissue from the surgery, and also baseball-related activities, diving, twisting, that sort of thing. And it's a day-to-day thing. It's not anything that at least I've been told, anything that they think is going to be more serious than it is. But it's something that's going to be a day-to-day thing. The only thing that will calm it down is rest and medication. He's on a different medication, different anti-inflammatory drug, and rest. And so we're going to do that. We'll take a day. I'll talk to him tomorrow, see how he feels tomorrow. I don't anticipate him playing tomorrow. He may. Cal's surprised a lot of people a lot of times, but it's one of those things. It's just day to day, and we'll look at it as we go.
Yeah. Last night, Mike, going back to inning number 6, 5-4 game, Trot Nixon leadoff man, towering fly ball to right. Albert Bell turned, looked up at the auxiliary board, didn't get back to the wall. The ball landed on the base of the wall. Albert knows he's got to play that ball a little bit better and get back to the wall.
Yeah, I'd safe say he knows that that ball should be caught. But the only one that can make that decision is Albert, and it's real easy to look at replay and see where the ball hit off the wall and say, he should have caught that ball. I mean, it's very easy after the fact. Albert's the only one there that has to make the judgment of where that ball is going to be on the wall. Albert's judgment was that it's going to be high off the wall, and he was going to play the carom and hold the guy to a double. I can't, even though that was the wrong decision, I can't fault him for making that decision, because that's a serious second guess, and I'm not going to do that to my players. He played the ball the way he thought it should be played. Turned out to be wrong, and we'll just live with the consequences. Albert, it wasn't a lack of hustle. It wasn't a lack of effort. It wasn't a lack of mental concentration. It was just one tick of a bad judgment, and those things will happen.
All right, so tonight it'd be very sweet if you're able to go out and get Pedro. We wish you the best. We're going to give you a couple of days off, and we'll see you in Anaheim. You don't have to deal with me for
I don't have to talk to you anymore.
You don't? Not for 3 days.
Oh, heaven forbid.
Good luck, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
All right, that's Mike Hargrove, the manager of the Orioles. Don't go away. When we get back, Tom Davis will have our Washington Post Extra as he talks from the Orioles baseball. That's next right here on HTS.
Hyundai offers America's best warranty, a 5-year, 60,000-mile bumper-to-bumper, and a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Then there's a Bob Bell advantage. We'll beat any Hyundai advertised price, or I'll give you the vehicle free. We offer a tremendous selection and dedicated service. Remember, if I can't beat any Hyundai advertised price, I'll give you the vehicle free. I'm Bob Bell, and I guarantee it.
Get the Hyundai Advantage, America's best warranty, at Bob Bell Hyundai, Route 2, Glen Burnie.
Rock, that was a band.
Ever wonder how to get a gig like this?
Underground?
By the Learn by Doing hands-on training that has placed thousands from coast to coast. Connecticut Schools of Broadcasting. 1-800-TV Radio. You're the boss. That's right.
At Jim Coleman Toyota, you just got promoted to sales manager. So we trust you to make us a fair offer on any Toyota in stock. We're the #1 volume dealer in your area with our famous lowest price satisfaction guarantee and 2 years, 24-hour roadside assistance. That's why nobody beats a Jim Coleman deal. Jim Coleman Toyota, Montgomery Mall in Bethesda. Hey! Hey, you're the boss. Take the rest of the day off. We'll see you at Jim Coleman Toyota.
Winning teams don't just happen. They're built with years of hard work and are led by people of dedication and extreme integrity. At Jenkins, Block & Associates, we've built such a team ready to handle your personal injury, workers' compensation, and Social Security cases. We offer reduced fees and instant access to our trained legal professionals. If you have legal questions and want help, go with a winning team. Jenkins, Block & Associates.
We work for you.
Ask how you could save up to 30% off State Farm's car insurance and get 100% of the service that's made State Farm famous. Contact your local agent today and see if you qualify. You'll be 100% amazed.
HTS presents the Washington Post Sports Extra. Welcome back to Baltimore's Camden Yards. Tom Davis together with sports editor George Solomon of the Washington Post. George, we haven't seen you in a while. Where you been?
Well, I've been around, Tom. It's I think the Orioles have been on the road, if I'm not mistaken, and now they're home, and not much has changed. The team obviously having pitching problems, and tonight they certainly might have some hitting problems facing one of the two great pitchers in baseball.
Pedro Martinez or Randy Johnson? Who's your pick is the best right now?
It's a push, Tom. I wouldn't even think about choosing which one you'd rather have. I mean, I think they're both great, and you're very fortunate to be there tonight.
And so true. What about the Red Sox? It looks like every year Boston goes into a season, they're somewhat concerned about whether they'll make postseason, yet the last 2 years they have, and it looks like they're going to be in the thick of things right now in the American League East.
Well, they've improved every year for the last 4 years, Tom, and I think it's a formidable lineup. They've got the great Pedro Martinez, and you know, it's a team that certainly has a great chance to make the playoffs and challenge the Yankees.
As for the Orioles right now, they're in a rut. I mean, do you see them being the same type of team as they were last year, or do you see them improving?
Well, I think the Orioles got to get their pitching straightened out, Tom. You know, it's a staff that 1, 2, 3 looks pretty good on paper, but the 1, 2, 3 starters aren't doing the job. The bullpen, which had been doing the job in April, certainly is faltering, and the manager, Mike Hargrove, certainly has a lot of questions that he's got to come up with answers for.
Let's turn to basketball for a moment. There's been a lot of speculation about Bobby Knight in Indiana may not survive to next basketball season, maybe let go. What do you think is going to happen there?
Well, I think that's a real interesting question and a real puzzle going on now in Indiana. There's talk of a meeting this weekend as early as Sunday with the trustees. There's talk of Knight coming back from a fishing trip on Sunday, and there's talk of possible resignation. There's talk of possible censure. So you really don't know what's going to happen, other than that it's a real interesting story that we're following very closely, and I think people are anxious for a resolution. You know, a lot of columnists have called for Knight to step down. A lot of columnists have called for Indiana University to get rid of Knight. Very few columnists have called for Knight to stand fast and for Indiana to leave him alone. But it's certainly an interesting story.
George, in less than 10 seconds, will Lenny Wilkens be coaching the Wizards?
Well, I don't know. It's obvious that Michael Jordan made Lenny Wilkens feel very, very good during the course of their interview. But that's not the first time a prospective employer has made a prospective employee feel good about an interview. Now, whether or not that translates into Jordan offering Wilkens the job, we'll have to wait and see. My indications are that Jordan also is very interested in a number of other coaches, including Mike Jarvis, and that Wilkens is interested in the Vancouver job because it's much closer to his Seattle home.
All right, our thanks to George Solomon. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you,
and
Tom.
we thank you for watching the Washington Post Sports Extra, and we'll be back with the conclusion of the Cellular One Orioles report from Baltimore's Camden Yards on HTS in just a moment.
Hey, you stay!
Want to get away? Fly Southwest Airlines to upstate New York for $30 when you purchase tickets by June 7th and travel by June 8th.
You are now free to move about the country.
got a family. You need to communicate. So we're going to help you out with Cellular One's Digital Edge family plans. They're great. One bill for up to 4 mobile phones, plus free phone-to-phone service. Call each other as much as you want for free. First 2 phones, $29.99 a month. Next 2, just $14.99 a month each. The more phones you get, the more you save. You get included minutes and free select mail, so you never miss a call. Cellular One's Digital Edge family plans. Start communicating with your family and save.
The only thing that comes close to the thrill of driving a new Dodge is the fun of saving on one. Now do both during the Dodge Drive into Summer event, where you can reduce your down payment on 2000 Rams with this generous cash allowance, or slash your interest payments thanks to exceptionally low 1.9% financing. The thrill of driving, the fun of saving, and your timing couldn't be better during the Dodge Drive into Summer event, going on now at your friendly Dodge dealer.
From the very beginning, RE/MAX set out to build a team of real estate's most experienced, highest producing agents. And that's just what we've done. In cities and towns across the continent and across the world, RE/MAX top producers have set new standards of success throughout the industry. So whether you're dreaming of buying or selling a home, share your dreams with RE/MAX, and we'll share our success with you. RE/MAX, nobody sells more real estate.
And welcome back to Baltimore's Camden Yards. Last night, Carl Everett did a lot of damage here. The center fielder for the Boston Red Sox went to Utah Street. The 25th time it's happened. 429-foot home run. And here's our RE/MAX. Basically, this is the home runs per at-bat on a ratio. Jason Giambi leads the league 7.8. Carl Everett is second with 9.4. And then Kansas City's Jermaine Dye 10.2. So that's a look at the RE/MAX league leaders. And we're going to take a wrap-up now on this Orioles report. It has been brought to you by Katz Insurance. Katz Insures the joy of driving. By Tursicles French Country Restaurant in historic Ellicott City on Main Street. Experience the ultimate in fine dining at Tursicles. The magnificent Timbers in Troy and Howard County off I-95 and Route 100. Just a short drive from Baltimore's Camden Yards. Call 410-313-GOLF to reserve your tee time at Timbers at Troy. Need legal help? Go with the winning team. Jenkins Block & Associates. They work for you. And by Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, home of the serious steaks. It's going to be a great pitching matchup tonight. Pedro Martinez against Sidney, Ponson. Michael Regine and Jim Palmer standing by with the lineups. It's coming up next.
Lanham Kia is Prince George's County's fastest growing Kia dealer. And we have rock bottom pricing on all our 2000 Kias. Lanham Kia has your new vehicle from $99 down. That's right, $99 down gets you into your new Kia. At Lanham Kia, your job is your credit. First-time buyer? No problem. Tough credit? No problem. $99 down? No problem. Lanham Kia, your $99 down dealership. Lanham Kia on Route 450, just outside Capitol Beltway, exit 20A.
So my husband says he wants to get one of those satellite TV dishes.
The satellite dish. I got questions. Why don't I get local channels with my dish? The news, the weather.
You know, it's important. I got kids to dress.
See, I'm very involved in the community.
I like to know what's going on.
Oh, if I get it with an antenna.
So now I need not only a satellite dish, but an antenna.
Wait, let me get this straight. There's no local channels.
There's no local office.
So really there's no local commitment.
Satellite TV isn't all it's dished up to be.
Yeah, sign me up.
Turn your sofa into a ringside seat with WWF Wrestling on Comcast In Demand. There are no exceptions to the rules. Good, bad, friend, or foe. All will be tested. All will be judged. WWF Judgment Day. To place your order instantly, call 1-800-885-4WWF. Comcast In Demand has your ringside seat live Sunday, May 21st for WWF Judgment Day. Order today. Back here at Oriole Park at Camden Yards in downtown Baltimore, the Orioles looking to right the ship tonight against one of the toughest in baseball. Michael Reggie, Jim Palmer with you as we take a look at Jimmy Williams, Boston Red Sox next starting lineup. Sox 19 and 12, 2.5 behind the New York Yankees in the American League East. Jose Offerman will lead off. He'll play second base. The center fielder tonight is Darren Lewis. Lewis with excellent numbers against Sidney Ponson, but the only reason he's in the lineup is because Carl Everett is hurting with a quadricep problem. Trot Nixon will hit third tonight. He plays right field. Nixon had the big night last night at the yard. Brian Dahlbach is the cleanup man tonight, and that's because Nomar Garciaparra is also out of the lineup. I'll tell you more about that in a minute. Jason Varitek does the catching and hits fifth. Troy O'Leary will play left field. The DH and hitting seventh is Mike Stanley. Young Wilton Veras is at third base. He'll hit eighth. And hitting ninth and playing shortstop for the now on the disabled list, Nomar Garciaparra, is Donnie Sadler. And this Red Sox lineup will oppose Jim, coming off a good start, Sidney Ponson.
Yeah, coming off one of his better starts of the year, that against the Yankees, left with a 4-2 lead, and he will play the role of stopper tonight. He's never beat the Red Sox, and he better pitch a good game. Pedro Martinez, 5-1 last year, actually this year, and 23-4 last year, winning a Cy Young Award. Got to be on top of your game to win tonight.
No question about that. If you give us a minute, we'll get back to it and let you know how Mike Hargrove makes out his Orioles lineup. That's next here on HTS.
Hey, you stink!
Want to get away? Fly Southwest Airlines to upstate New York for $30 when you purchase tickets by June 7th and travel by June 8th.
You are now free to move about the country.
New batteries. Liquid wrench. Autocraft battery cables. AC Delco alternators. Advance Auto Parts carries more parts than any other store, including one you won't find anywhere else.
You know, we can give you a free installation if you like. Sure.
Advance Auto Parts. The best part is our people.
I'm George Ferris, chairman of Ferris Baker Watts. Most big New York investment firms recommend their own proprietary products. Although such investments provide excellent returns for those firms, they may not be best for you. At Ferris Baker Watts, we have no proprietary products. Our specialists seek investments we can recommend with confidence are most suitable for you because we want your business, we'll earn your trust.
Call 1-800-436-2000.
Your corporate database is corrupted. Face it, you're losing it. Just call TimeBridge Technologies, adding vision to technology. Now, that's better.
Orioles baseball, feel the magic where you are. I feel like a kid again when I am at the yard.
Hi, I'm Delano DeShields.
Hi, I'm Sidney Ponson.
Hi, I'm Buddy Groom. Hi, I'm Charles Johnson.
Hi, this is BJ Surhoff. We can't wait to see you at the yard.
Orioles baseball.
The O's have now fallen 2 games below the 500 mark as they sit fourth in the American League East. Take a look at Mike Hargrove's next starting lineup. Brady Anderson had a big night last night. He paced the O's offense. He'll lead off and play center field. Delano DeShields at second base, hitting second. The left fielder is B.J. Surhoff. It's been a year of streak for B.J. He's trying to get warm again. You see, just 169 in his last 17. Albert Bell will play right field and hit cleanup. The DH tonight is Harold Baines. Hitting sixth and playing first base is Jeff Conine. Doing the catching tonight and hitting seventh, the left-handed bat for Mike Hargrove. Greg Myers against Pedro Martinez. Mark Lewis will play third base and hit eighth. Information on Cal Ripken and why he's not in the lineup coming up in just a moment. And Mike Bordick will hit ninth and play shortstop. And this Oriole lineup will face Jim, the unanimous Cy Young Award winner from 1999, Pedro Martinez.
Yeah, without a doubt, the best pitcher in the American League, and he is. You can see the numbers right there, taking off where he went from last year. 23-4 last year, and tough to beat. I mean, he's just got them all. I mean, he's 17 strikeouts in his last game, and that was a loss, 1-0. We'll see if the Orioles have a plan of attack against Pedro Martinez tonight. Get set, Orioles baseball against the Red Sox, coming to you right here on HTS.
Yesterday, finding anything at a home improvement store meant searching for hours, getting dirty, and lost. People accepted this. Today, there's Lowe's, and there's order in the world. The 3/4-inch bolts are where it says 3/4-inch bolts. Plumbing? Well, that's in plumbing. Just look for the signs. And you can read them with aisles so bright you can even tell almond from ivory. Friends, this is why logic makes sense. Lowe's, improving home improvement.
Bad cheetah. See? That's why I'm not a cat person.
You've got a family. You need to communicate. So we're going to help you out with Cellular One's Digital Edge family plans. They're great. One bill for up to 4 mobile phones, plus free phone-to-phone service. Call each other as much as you want for free. First 2 phones, $29.99 a month. Next 2, just $14.99 a month each. The more phones you get, the more you save. You get included minutes and free select mail, so you never miss a call. Cellular One's Digital Edge family plans. Start communicating with your family and save.
He was the master of suspense, endlessly twisting the human psyche, slowly toying with your emotions, until finally you went mad.
It's Let's Make a Deal Scratch-Off from the Maryland Lottery, with 10 chances to win up to $15,000. Monty's back.
15% of all people who undergo LASIK have to return for additional surgery. That's the national average. At Katzen, we think that's unacceptable. Ours, less than 3%.
LASIK is a surgical procedure performed by qualified surgeons. It's serious business. That's why your Katzen surgeon is with you before and after the procedure.
Call 1-800-617-EYES for your free LASIK consultation. Katzen Eye Group, a better vision.
The only thing that comes close to the thrill of driving a new Dodge is the fun of saving on one. Now do both during the Dodge Drive into Summer event, where you can immediately knock $750 off your down payment on a Dodge Dakota thanks to this generous cash allowance. The thrill of driving, the fun of saving, and your timing couldn't be better during the Dodge Drive into Summer event, going on now at your friendly Dodge dealer.
Thursday night began with a boom for the O's as Brady Anderson would dial up Tim Wakefield, his 38th career leadoff home run. O's wanted to get aggressive, as Mike Bordick shows you, as they took an early lead. However, Carl Everett, his first appearance at Oriole Park, went real deep onto Utah Street with a long 2-run home run, part of a 6-run six. Bird's got to be wondering, is there any rescue in sight? Pedro Martinez to take the baseball tonight, off suspension, the 5-game winner to face the O's. It's next on HTS.
The only thing that comes close to the thrill of driving a new Dodge is the fun of saving on one. Now do both during the Dodge Drive into Summer event, where you can reduce your down payment on Intrepid with this generous cash allowance, or save over $3,800 thanks to low long-term financing. The thrill of driving, the fun of saving, and your timing couldn't be better during the Dodge Drive into Summer event, going on now at your friendly Dodge dealer.
I registered my knowledge.
I registered my hope.
I registered my ambition.
HTS presents Major League Baseball. Tonight we come at you out of Oriole Park at Camden Yards here in downtown Baltimore. Game 2 of the 4-game series as the Orioles try to get on track against the hot ball club from the American League East, the Boston Red Sox. Very good to see everybody. I'm Michael Regai. Unfortunately tonight, 3 of the marquee names that a lot of people came to the yard to see will not be in action tonight. For the Orioles, Cal Ripken is not going to go in this one. Cal has some scar tissue built up from the back surgery that he underwent last September. It's causing some nerve irritation in the lower back, so he's not going to be able to play tonight. And for the Boston Red Sox, Jimmy Williams lineup without both Carl Everett, who hit the big 2-run home run and had 3 base hits. He also pulled a quadricep last night. And Nomar Garciaparra, hamstring pulled first inning last evening, left the game, and today goes on the DL. With that, we welcome in Orioles Hall of Famer Jim Palmer. And Jim, in this outrageous year of hitting, the Boston Red Sox have proved one thing if you've been paying attention around Major League Baseball. If you pitch and rank near the top of almost every pitching category, you're still going to win. The Red Sox have done that.
Well, they certainly have, and now, of course, it all starts with the guy we're going to see tonight in Pedro Martinez. Last year, 23-4. This year, 5-1. They also have one of the most thorough pitching coaches. I used to see him when he was Montreal in spring training. He doesn't leave anything uncovered, and you can see this is also Major League rank. And right here, Pedro Martinez, what a number guy. I mean, here's a #1 guy to emulate the soul and spirit and heart of this ball club. But the one thing to notice when you look at the numbers, not to mention the outstanding stuff in Pedro Martinez, is that those numbers reflect the American League with the DH, and that's in all of baseball. So an outstanding pitching staff, and one of the best pitchers, if not the best pitcher in baseball, pitching for the Red Sox tonight.
That videotape you looked at, of course, from April 30th, the aftermath, Pedro suspended. He had to serve it through yesterday, coming off a 17 strikeout performance in a 1-0 loss to Steve Traxel and Tampa Bay last Saturday. Now, on the flip side, Jim, we talk about the tremendous pitching of the Red Sox. Mike Hargrove is looking for a little bit of that right now with the Orioles. The Bird staff is struggling, and Jim, in the last 7, the O's have been able to win just 1, and unfortunately, the pitching numbers have become very inflated.
They certainly have, and there they are. I mean, you can see how badly the starting pitchers, relievers have struggled. Earned run average almost closer to 8 than 7. A lot of runs, a lot of hits, a lot of home runs. And I think tonight, if you take this pitching set, if you look what Sidney Ponson tonight, he is not pitching to beat Pedro Martinez. He is doing and wants to do something that the other Orioles starters haven't been able to do, which is keep them in the game, give them an opportunity to win. And maybe they'll have to go back to what they did in 1998 when they beat Pedro. The only time here, Eric Davis hitting a 2-run home run, and the Orioles winning 3-2.
And the Orioles have dropped 8 of the last 9, going back to a couple losses to Anaheim before the road trip. It would be sweet to get after Pedro tonight. HTS coverage of Orioles baseball here at the Yard, being brought to you by Advance Auto Parts. The best part is our people. By Geico Direct, the sensible alternative. By ToadNet, locally owned and operated high-speed internet and web hosting services to handle any of your personal or business needs, from dial-up to DSL and T1. Want to go fast? By Washington area subways. Subway, the way a sandwich should be. By Toyota and the all-new Camry Solara. Also by Bell Atlantic, your guide through the wilds of communication. And by Southwest Airlines. Log on for low fares at www.southwest.com, a symbol of e-freedom. Let's play baseball. The Orioles and the Red Sox. Game 2 coming at you next on this Friday night out of the Yard on HTS.
Back on your feet after all that work you missed.
Yeah, good thing my supplemental insurance kicked in.
Supple what?
Aflac. Well, even the best health insurance doesn't give you cash to cover things like lost pay or other expenses. This does.
What does?
Aflac. Oh, sorry, buddy. What? Anyway, ask about it at work.
Aflac. Without it, no insurance is complete.
Ask about what?
Aflac! You ready?
Turtle Wax. Grizzly Grill Guards. Rancho Shocks. Gas cans. Advance Auto Parts carries more parts than any other store, including one you won't find anywhere else.
We need some help. We need a lot of help.
Advance Auto Parts. The best part is our people.
You're the boss. That's right. At Jim Coleman Toyota, you just got promoted to sales manager. So we trust you to make us a fair offer on any Toyota in stock. We're the #1 volume dealer in your area with our famous lowest price satisfaction guarantee and 2 years, 24-hour roadside assistance. That's why nobody beats a Jim Coleman deal. Jim Coleman Toyota, Montgomery Mall in Bethesda. Hey, you're the boss. Take the rest of the day off. We'll see you at Jim Coleman Toyota.
Baseball, feel the magic where you are. I feel like a kid again when I am at the yard.
Hi, I'm Rich Amaro. Hi, I'm Mike Timlin. Hi, I'm Calvin Maduro. Hi, I'm Scott Erickson. We can't wait to see you at the yard.
Orioles baseball.
As we get back at the yard, let's take a look at Mike Hargrove's Oriole defensive alignment tonight. Jeff Conine making his 10th consecutive start at first base this evening. Delano DeShields joins him on the right side. Mike Bornick at shortstop. Mark Lewis is at third base for the injured Cal Ripken. Cal with the back irritation. B.J. Surhoff in left field. Brady Anderson in center field. Albert Bell in right field. The Birds veteran trio. And Greg Myers is going to do the catching for young man who pitched very, very well, Jim, in Yankee Stadium on Sunday. Gave the Orioles a chance to win, Sidney Ponson.
And that's what he wants to do tonight, just try to put the Orioles in a position where they can stay close to Pedro Martinez.
So we're all set to roll. Another magnificent night for Orioles baseball as Jose Offerman will lead it off against Sidney Ponson. Offerman had a couple of hits in game 1 last night. Checks his swing as Ponson tried to work him up in the zone. But Jim, after looking at those numbers a moment ago, the Orioles ever needed a strong start from one of their members of the rotation, it's tonight with Sidney Ponson. But, you know, I asked Mike Hargrove before the game, Ponson can't turn this into a battle with Pedro Martinez. You got to stay within and go after this Red Sox lineup.
Well, they've been talking to Sidney about trying to relax, and whether you're pitching against Pedro or not, you have to be able to do that. Now, the handwriting's on the wall. You know, if you're going out against Pedro Martinez the way he's pitched not only this year but last year, going 23-4, you're not going to have a bad game and expect your team to win. But Sidney is certainly capable of pitching a very strong game for the Orioles. And it doesn't hurt to have Carl Everett and Nomar Garciaparra out of the lineup. Now, as a purist,
you noticed that, huh?
Well, as a purist, if you're a baseball fan, you want to see these two guys play because they can play the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Garciaparra last year winning a batting title, and you know, Jimmy Williams talking, the manager of the Red Sox, talking about losing John Valentin. He said, listen, we don't have him. We had to deal with it.
Ground ball to the hole. It's going to get through. Base hit right field. So Jose Offerman has become a bit of a pain out of a leadoff spot, as we said, 2 hits last night, and now a base hit to start it off against Ponson. So, Jim, what do you say we get to work here? We'll take a look at our Dodge keys to the game. What do you have for us?
Well, for the Red Sox, you just, you know, you can't forget these guys are out of the lineup because they're so meaningful, but you do have to figure some way to win. And, of course, there are the numbers. Pedro, because of the suspension, an extra day, 13-0 last year on extra day. They try to do that quite often against the Orioles early in the count. 9 for 21 guys trying to put the first pitch in play. And for Sidney, the Orioles really struggling, at least the starters, the last 11 games.
Darren Lewis going to push a bunt. Oh, that's a beauty. DeShields with that flip that's late. Bunt base hit for Darren Lewis. Darren Lewis couldn't have taken it in his hand and rolled it out there any better. Once it cleared Ponson, you knew that it was going to take a miraculous play for DeShields to try to get Lewis.
The Red Sox, they've only attempted 11 steals. They've been successful 4 times. They don't run a lot, but this is as good as it gets right here. You don't need a lot of runs. You want to get a guy in scoring position. Here's the bonus right here. Nice play by Delano. unable to be able to get Lewis, so you not only get the runner in scoring position, but you get the bonus by getting the base hit. And that's heads-up baseball.
It is, and now Sidney Ponson is going to have to face maybe the hottest of the Red Sox hitters. Trot Nixon, 3 base hits yesterday. He's up to 340 now. He's hitting 5 in a row and been over 400 during that 5-game hit streak. So Trot Nixon, young man that grew up around the Atlantic Coast region in North Carolina, still makes his home there, and now solidified the right field spot for the Boston Red Sox.
Oh, he was talking before the game. He had that laser surgery in the offseason. Now, here's a good kid that last year, #1 draft choice, and a number of years ago struggled, hit in the 100s in April. Jimmy Williams stuck with him, ended up having an outstanding year. But this year, a lot better vision.
2-0 pitch by DeShields, base hit right field. Offerman's being waved in. Lewis will streak to third. First 3 hitters aboard with base hits. Orioles down early, and still a lot of trouble brewing for Sidney Ponson.
Well, great bunt by Lewis as Sammy Ellis will come out to talk to Sidney, but right here another looked like a changeup right in the middle of the plate, very much like the pitch to Offerman. Gets it by DeShields. Delano probably saying, wait a minute, I'm not playing in the right spot tonight. 3 balls hit in his direction. So the Red Sox on top 1-0. And the pitching coach, Sammy Ellis, out to talk to Sidney. But the one thing you know you can't have, and under normal circumstances, and beat Pedro Martinez is a big inning.
And speaking of big innings, Jim, of course, that 6-run 6th inning that Boston checked in with last night blew it wide open here.
First baseman, number 23.
The visit from Sammy Ellis, and of course Pedro Martinez will gladly accept all the offense that his Red Sox mates are ready to give him. Now, the Orioles starters in the last 4 games. This gets under the category of hide the women and children. It has not been pretty. The starters' ERA up near 12, and that includes this first inning run that the Red Sox just put on the board.
Well, the degree of difficulty right here for Sidney Ponson is he knows who he's pitching against tonight. I talked to him before the game. So right here, you have first and third, nobody out. You really don't want to give up that second run. You have one of their hotter hitters. Look at the numbers right there. Brian Daubach having a great year last year, struggling in September. So you like to strike them out, you like to pop them up, but then again, sometimes if you do that, you really exacerbate the situation because you become too fine, too perfect, you walk somebody, and you really get into the big inning situation. Against a normal guy, you don't mind giving up that second run and make sure that's all they get this inning. Tonight might be a little different story.
Yeah, it could be. There you see the breakdown a moment ago. Left, right for Ponson. Check swing and the breaking ball. So Sidney is ahead of Brian Daubach, much like Trot Nixon has established himself in right field. Daubach now entrenched at first base for Jimmy Williams. Daubach has been swinging the bat with a lot of gusto as well. He had 2 hits here last night. Only 6 games this year in which Brian Daubach has not put a base hit together on the board. He's in an RBI spot here. Ponson ahead of him 1-2. Challenged him with a fastball.
You know, had one of those outstanding years last year, but only hit 173 in his last 52 at bats. Only 9 hits last year, and ended up with 21 home runs. Had a monster year at AAA when he played for the Marlins with 38 home runs, and then they let him go. I mean, what a find for the Red Sox.
See Sidney trying to stay away with a changeup and work that outside corner as the count evens at 2-2. Lewis at third base, Nixon at first. 3 straight base hits off young Sidney Ponson. Sox already on the board. Get into the thoughts of Greg Myers tonight. 3-2 now on Daubach, so we'll see if Jimmy Williams here, Jim, wants to start Trot Nixon.
No, I think I always felt 3-2 they were going to start the runner, because 3-2, if you don't throw a strike, and that means you got to take a little bit more time if you're Sidney Ponson. You got to make sure that you throw a strike in this situation, otherwise the bases are loaded.
Nixon not going. Ground ball at DeShields. Birds looking to turn a pair to board it for 1. Nope. Daubach beat it. Lewis to the plate. 2-0 Boston by not starting Nixon. Jimmy Williams just about to hit into that double play with Brian Daubach, but he beat the return throw from Bordick, give him the RBI.
Well, I'll tell you, pretty aggressive slide by Trot Nixon. His throw is going to be to the outfield side, so right now, as you can see the slide right there, Bordick can't get anything on it, and Brian Daubach gets his foot down right here. He's got to avoid him. Doesn't get as much on the throw, and you can see the foot coming down just before the ball's there. So even though you don't have a lot of team speed on this ball club, aggressive base running, keeping this inning alive. Instead of 2 outs, there's only 1.
Ground ball off the bat of Varitek. Bordick will go to DeShields for 1. Double play. Well, the Birds just missed it with Daubach. They got it on the next pitch as Jason Varitek bangs into the 6-4-3 double play. Sox get 2. Birds to hit against Pedro Martinez. Boston with the lead.
We set out to build a new full-size truck unlike anything else on the road today. Its 32-valve I-Force V8 engine will redefine performance, and its one-piece frame rail chassis will give new meaning to strength. And yet there is one crucial area where we fall short of most other competitors in our class, and that's price. Introducing the new full-size Toyota Tundra. Have we gone too far, or have others not gone far enough?
Go, baby, go! Bradley, spin up the middle, go! Run, he's gonna score. He's in. Dude, he's totally in the open. He's gonna score.
This magic moment.
Oh.
So different and so feels like any other. Until I touched you, and then it happened.
Hey, you know what this game needs? More cheerleaders. Oh, yeah. More cheerleaders.
Welcome to Apple Ford. When the Orioles came back to Baltimore in 1954, they quickly won the hearts of their fans. Like the Orioles, Apple Ford has won the hearts of their customers because they never throw you a curve and always offer you great hits.
Drive home this all-new 2000 Focus LX for $11,995 or a 2000 Mustang Coupe for just $15,495.
Apple Ford and Oriole Baseball, 2 great Baltimore traditions. Apple Ford is conveniently located in Columbia, just off Snowden River Parkway.
Take a look at Jimmy Williams' Red Sox defense. Brian Daubach and Jose Offerman on the right side of the infield. Donnie Sadler in for Nomar Garciaparra, who's put on the DL today. There's 3 errors last year, but in only 14 games at shortstop. Wilton Veras, the young third baseman. The outfield is Troy O'Leary in left. Darren Lewis in center. He's in for the injured Carl Everett. And Trot Nixon, the right fielder. Jason Varitek will catch the unanimous Cy Young Award winner from 1999. 313 strikeouts. And, well, simply you put him at the top of the list when you talk pitching in the game today. Pedro Martinez.
I think the only buddy even close is Randy Johnson over in the National League. And Pedro, Joe Kerrigan, look at the numbers right there. Joe Kerrigan, the pitching coach, saying that, you know, just sit back and watch this guy because you don't see somebody this special. Overpowering fastball, 2-seamer four-seamer. He'll throw a cutter in against lefties. He's got a great changeup. You can't see the difference, in a nasty breaking ball. It just does everything well, hard to run on, and, you know, he's not that big, but I'll tell you what, he's a maximum effort guy.
And I'm going to talk to Mr. Kerrigan tomorrow about not showing the proper respect to a Hall of Famer.
Well, he told me
268 career wins, Jim Palmer.
Well, he said, I was good. He said, you were good, but this guy is really something. I said, Joe, did you have to go out and talk to him last year? What do you say to a guy like this when you have to go out to the mound? And he said, I only went out twice all last year. Once this year, and he says it's normal. And normally when I have to go out there, it's usually to calm him down because he's upset with the umpire. So what are you going to tell a guy like this?
23-4, not much input needed. Brady Anderson to lead off against Pedro Martinez. He establishes the inside corner with a fastball, and Jim, Pedro has gone on the record as saying, I am not going to change from pitching in. That's the way I establish, and if I have to get suspended again, then so be it.
Well, he got suspended because he was protecting his hitters.
Struck him out on 3 pitches. Pedro Martinez fans Brady Anderson.
It's going to be about location, movement, velocity, deception. And you can see that ball run about 3-4 inches. Starts in the middle of the plate, just runs right to the outside corner.
And Pedro, of course, as you see, has not lost 2 straight. Going back to over a year ago. How about this number? You know, in his last home runs, 11 home runs also, has not given up a home run with anybody on since September 24th. The Shields with a rocket to right, but right at Trot Nixon. Delino turned around a changeup and drilled it directly at Trot Nixon for out number 2 here in the opening inning. Let's go around the Sac Creek Concrete Mixed Yellow Diamond and introduce tonight's umpires. Behind home plate, it's Terry Kraft at first base. Tim McClellan, second base umpire, is Paul Schreiber. The young man who worked the plate last night, Phil Cousy, at third base. You look for the Sac Creek Yellow Diamond in lumberyards, hardware stores, and home centers near you. The base is empty for B.J. Surhoff. Martinez will miss with his fastball. B.J. Jim is trying to get going again. Been a streaky year for B.J. Had that cold spell, and then he got blistering hot, and now he's cooled off again. Yeah, up and down, up and down. But it is nice to know that you can get 207 hits in a year, like he did last year, and you know that you can get hot. Of course, that was a career year. You know, maybe not 200 hits in part of the destiny this year, but certainly, you know, durable. He's going to give you everything he can possibly give you. You know the work ethic's going to be there. It's going to hook foul into the corner and right. Jim, do you think there are times, though, that during the course of the season, B.J., who has the consecutive game streak going on, at times maybe he needs to throttle down just a little bit for the benefit of himself and the ball club? Well, look at the facial expressions. We've talked about that ever since he's been here. I mean, he is we talked about Pedro Martinez being a max effort guy. I mean, he doesn't like to pop a ball up in batting practice. Same with Mike Porter. But that doesn't mean that you can't be a terrific player, because he is. He's one of the best left fielders in the game. But a lot of people say there's a big difference between being intense and being tense. I think he's just intense. Doesn't cause tense. You get a good idea right there. If you want to go away and you're heading the count, Martinez has tremendous command in off the plate, as you mentioned, and then he comes right back. Yep, got Surhoff on the 2-2 pitch. Fastball that's cut to the inner half. Pedro Martinez with a couple of Ks in the opening inning. Boston leads it 2-0 when we get back to the yard.
Hi, Melanie Russell. Welcome to the all-new Russell Toyota. We're celebrating with some fantastic grand opening specials.
It's your choice. Drive home a new 2000 Camry for $1 over invoice or just $219 a month. Drive home a new 2000 Corolla for $1 over invoice or just $189 a month.
We built a state-of-the-art facility to serve you better. And we're convenient to you on Route 40 West. Or visit us at russellautomotive.com. Russell Toyota. We are customer-driven.
Good morning, Mr. Hunt. This is your mission, should you choose to accept it. The mother of all nightmares is on the loose.
Prepare yourself.
Not bad now.
For the impossible. Tom Cruise.
Five. Having fun? Four.
I'm not ready.
3, 2, 1. It's going down.
Mission Impossible 2. Rated PG-13. Starts everywhere Wednesday, May 24th.
The only thing that comes close to the thrill of driving a new Dodge is the fun of saving on one. Now do both during the Dodge Drive into Summer event, where you can immediately knock $750 off your down payment on a Dodge Dakota thanks to this generous cash allowance. The thrill of driving, the fun of saving, and your timing couldn't be better during the Dodge Drive into Summer event, going on now at your friendly Dodge dealer.
Want the red-hot sports question of the week? We want your answers. You want the HTS Online Sports Poll. You want HTSOnline.com.
Inning number 2 rolling for us here at the yard as Sidney Ponson will drop that breaking ball in for a called strike on Troy O'Leary. The O'Leary, Mike Stanley, and Wilton Veras. O'Leary is trying to get his bat warm. One of the few Sox that started out a little bit chilly, Jim, coming off. And what a brilliant postseason for Troy O'Leary last year. Personally wrecked Mike Hargrove and the Cleveland Indians at the time in the division series. Well, his RBIs have gone up the last 3 years. Same with the home runs. Very, very tough against left-handed pitching.
so you don't have to platoon them. You know, Dan Duquette, very much like Roland Heeman when the Orioles tried to get more athletic, trying to get people that can do a number of things for you, and that's how they got him out of Milwaukee organization. You know, right now he just said, listen, I'd just like to get back to where I was. He said, I almost kind of feel like I need a left-handed pitcher in there because I cut my swing down last year. Like I said, hit over 330 against lefties. He said it's much easier to pull off a right-hander because you feel like you see the ball better.
Swing and a miss. Ponson just blew that fastball up in the letters and right by Troy O'Leary, Sidney's first K of the night.
Now, a couple of tantalizing breaking balls early on, and then just here's the high rider. And that's nice. Sidney, who gets in trouble when he throws too many strikes, this time goes out of the strike zone, which is something you can do when you get ahead in the count. And as you said, gets his first strikeout.
Well, we've talked about a lot, Jim, when Sidney has gotten into trouble as he misses up and into Mike Stanley, our colleague Mike Flanagan, all of us. Sidney, just too much of that strike zone, tries to maybe dial up a little bit when things get away from him, and it causes him more trouble than good.
Well, this is I don't care how hard you throw, what your velocity is now. If you stay in the middle of the plate with the strike zone small and the hitters don't have to respect the inside part of the plate, you're going to get pounded. And his ball is not particularly, he doesn't have a live fastball. They've been trying to work with Sidney to get his arm out in front and maybe use his wrist a little bit more and stop throwing the ball from behind you, which is what he does at 23 when he gets in trouble. He gets a little bit tense.
On 4 pitches after fanning O'Leary, he gives Mike Stanley the free ride, the 1-out walk.
Third baseman, number 38, Wilson Barris.
I mean, you go back to the first inning, the Offerman's base hit, a changeup right down the middle. Nixon's base hit after the bunt by Lewis, another changeup right down the middle. This is not about stuff. This is about maturity. Sammy Ellis saying, listen, his success is going to be directly linked with how he handles bad innings, how he handles the difficulties at 23 pitching in the major leagues when it is such offensive-minded league as it is now.
Young Wilton Veras. Veras with John Valentin out for now more than a month with the patellar problem. Veras has stepped in and pretty much taken over the third base position for the Sox. We saw him last year. It's a broken bat flared line drive that got over the head of Delino DeShields. Well, that was real close there as Mike Stanley almost got thrown out by Albert Bell.
Well, Mike, a little bit long a tooth, not a lot of foot speed, and what's happened right here, he thinks that Delino DeShields might be able to come up with his ball. So he kind of goes third of the way, and when the ball does, and this ball right off the end of the bat, not going to be hit very hard, just loops it over, but he thinks right here, Stanley's thinking, well, maybe he comes up with that. I don't want to get doubled off. DeShields doesn't come up with it, and then a very close play. In there about a step and a half.
Delino has been busy trying to flag down balls off the bats of the Red Sox tonight.
Well, he's already had 3 dives, 2 at a ground ball, and then another one trying to get a little looper over his head.
Here's Donnie Sadler. Talk about being put under a microscope. Donnie Sadler. Nomar Garciaparra, if you're just joining us. Last night he hit into a force play in the first inning. Grabbed at a hamstring and has been put on the disabled list by the Red Sox before the game today. So Sadler has been summoned from Pawtucket, and for now, Andy Sheets did a nice job last night, but Sadler's in the lineup tonight.
Well, originally in spring training, they actually called Andy Sheets up from AAA and sent Donnie Sadler out because they think so much of him. They think here's a kid that can play second, can play third.
This is lifted to right. Albert Bell with room near the line in fair territory to put it away. So Sadler's out and the fly ball to right. Tonight's Maryland Lottery baseball scratch-off triple play winner is Mary Bayless of Baltimore. Mary, you've won $50 worth of scratch-off tickets. Now you're automatically entered in the grand prize drawing on June 9th for $100,000. You can enter the Maryland Lottery baseball scratch-off triple play game. Send any non-winning ticket to the address on your screen, then tune in to every Orioles game to see if you're a winner, and you have to dare to win. So a couple aboard with 2 out now, and back to the top for Sidney Ponson of the Sox lineup as he faces Jose Offerman.
And Jim just mentioned a moment ago, got him on a changeup and rips a base hit up the middle here on the fastball. Stanley has turned third. He'll come to the plate. Veras over to third on the 2-out line drive, RBI single. That was the fastball off the changeup the first time, but Offerman's now 2 for 2.
Yeah, but where's the pitch? And that's really what it comes down to. You don't want to beat a dead horse, but again, it's about location. And this fastball is going to be right down the middle of the plate. He just goes out, hits it right back up the middle, looking for something out over the plate, because until you get 2 strikes, you can just kind of look for your pitch. He gets his pitch, and the Red Sox ahead 3-0.
And Sidney taking that deep breath, trying to regroup a little bit, gets back up on that mound and go after this man, the center fielder, Darren Lewis. As we said, Sidney in that start in Yankee Stadium only gave up 2 runs and 4 base hits in his 6 innings of work. Terrific outing after Roger Clemens had beaten the Orioles on Saturday, and of course the walk-off home run from Posada did it on Friday night. So Jimmy was in a key spot for Ponson to keep the world champs down and get the Orioles a chance to win it late.
Well, as it turned out, they blow the lead, the 4-2 lead, and then come back and win a game that I don't think anybody thought they would win.
No.
Mariano Rivera coming in, and one of those rare blown saves for him. But you can see the disappointment on Sidney's face, because he knows who he's pitching against.
Ponson ready to deal 2-1 to Darren Lewis. Threw a fastball right by him.
So here's a lineup. You take Garciaparra, who was hitting .391 in his last 23 games. Carl Everett's sitting out. He's got 12 home runs and 33 RBIs. And now, even though Darren Lewis, you can plug him in, he's hitting over 500 against Sidney, lifetime. Now, he's not going to give you the power, but he's going to give you a good defensive ball club. I think really the difference that I see between, say, the Red Sox and Jimmy Williams said, listen, Valentin's out, so what? He's not playing. We got to find somebody else. Cal Ripken can't play tonight. Do they let Ryan Minor play? No. They go with a guy like Mark Lewis. Nothing against Mark Lewis, but what do the Red Sox do? They bring up a guy that's been playing at AAA. So they figure they're going to use their young players, see how they can play. Sadler was sent out in the first place because, I mean, Gaetti tried to make the ball club. Cordova tried to make the ball club. They had a lot of young guys. They send Sadler out to play. When somebody gets hurt, they bring him back.
Yeah.
Minor comes up. Cal can't play because of the scar tissue issue, and we'll talk more about that. They go with a guy that's been a utility player. They don't go with one of the youngsters.
Ponson just fans Mark Lewis on the 2-2 pitch. So that'll end the inning. Sox get one more. They've scored in both innings and lead it 3-0.
We'll admit we could have made the new full-size Toyota Tundra more like its competitors. We could have given it a less powerful V8 engine like the 5.2-liter Dodge Ram. We could have given the Tundra multi-piece frame rails like the Ford F-150. We could have given it less stopping power like the 5.3-liter Chevy Silverado, but we decided to quit while we were ahead. The new Toyota Tundra with the I-Force V8. Have we gone too far, or have others not gone far enough?
Honesty, integrity, no hassle buying. That's Miller Brothers.
Take it from Mike. Slide on into Miller Brothers Ford for the best way to shop. No hassle express buying in minutes, not hours. One low price clearly marked on a rugged lineup of new Fords. Break out with 0-9 60-month financing on 2,000 Windstars or choose $1,500 cash back. Get $1,000 cash back on 2,000 Taurus or 3-9 financing. Get 2-9 financing on 2,000 Mustang V6 or get $1,000 cash back.
Tell them Mike sent you.
Miller Brothers Ford in Ellicott City.
Mr. Sosa. Mr. Sosa. Mr. Sosa, there's a rumor you're thinking of retiring in the near future. Is this true?
Absolutely.
When?
Saturday.
Anytime you're ready to retire, stop by Ward's Auto Express, where we now carry Michelin and lots of other brands like Goodyear, Firestone, and General. When you come to Auto Express, our certified technicians always provide expert service on brakes, alignment, oil changes, and more. Where? Ward's Auto Express.
You can't shop smarter than Ward's.
Get a Cal Ripken 3,000 hit t-shirt and a 3,000 hit baseball for just $29 plus shipping and handling. Plus receive a free 3,000 hit commemorative. Call 1-888-624-BIRD right now. That's 1-888-624-BIRD. Some American League Eastern Division scores that count. The Yankees in Detroit scoreless in the second inning. Toronto and Tampa 1-1 in the first. Boston leads the Orioles 3-0, headed to the bottom half of the second inning, and more for Michael and Jim.
Okay, Tommy, thank you very much. Pedro Martinez retired the Orioles in order in the opening inning. He fanned Brady Anderson and B.J. Surhoff. So now we'll face Albert Bell, Harold Baines, and Jeff Conine here in the second, and he's been staked to a 3-0 lead. Jim, when you face a guy like Martinez, we know baseball much an individual game in terms of hitter versus pitcher, but can Terry Crowley put together a team hitting approach is how we're going to try to go get Martinez, maybe if we get a couple aboard, and how aggressive we need to be?
Well, I think what he's going to say is try to get a good pitch to hit. Now, the difficulty comes that the better pitcher you are, and I saw it with Perry and Tiant and Koufax and, people like Mickey Lolich, Denny McLean, didn't get a lot of good pitches to hit, and that's the difference. So you're going to try it now. Here's a 2-0 count. Right here, he probably should get a fastball to hit. At least that's what he should be looking for. Try to do something with it. And he did. See, and when you have good stuff, and when I talk about good stuff, I'm talking about movement and velocity, which is what Pedro has also. He's only about, they have him listed at 170, 5'11". He's probably about, I don't know, maybe 5'9", 5'10". But there's a lot of stuff going on there. Hides the ball real well. So he's got deception, movement, location, velocity, and that's why he's as good as he is. Not to mention a huge heart.
2-1 to Bell will back him off.
I mean, he got traded originally from the Dodgers because they said he would never be able to, at his size, be able to sustain being a starting pitcher.
And that deal was for Delino DeShields.
Yeah, the Dodgers wanted somebody that could jump start their offense out in Los Angeles.
To a fastball right by Albert Bell. Pedro's in that mid-90 range tonight. He's hit 96, 97 on the fastball to Surhoff, according to the Judge gun here at Oriole Park.
See, he can relax. He can get a little bit extra. That's the only way you can do that. You try to overthrow like if Sidney is still doing it early in his career. But you know, an interesting thing about Pedro, and I don't know about the rule book, but when I was talking to some of the people, Larry Rothschild, who's manager of Tampa, look at his sleeves. He cuts his sleeves. Now, I'm surprised that I would think that would be against the rules. It's got to be somewhat of a distraction, and even if it isn't, little gamesmanship, you've got to make him change that jersey. He's cut both arms.
Well, you cannot, as a pitcher, you can't have any white in an undershirt showing. But you're right. I don't think that sleeve cutting is...
I mean, that's the only way you're going to probably beat this guy. I mean, you've got to try something. Maybe he pumped a lot of iron in the offseason.
Just bursting out all over. Huh?
Yeah, look at that.
He accomplished something in the month of April that only a fellow by the name of George Herman Ruth accomplished as a Boston Red Sox pitcher, and let's go 5-0 out of the chute. And that's when the Babe was with the Red Sox, and yes, on the mound as a pitcher. On the inside corner with a fastball, Albert Bell tried to lift those arms. You could tell Albert saying, you know what, Terry Kraft, this guy doesn't need any help. As Albert walks disgustedly back to the O's dugout.
It appears to me, and that ball, I don't know, you can see, when Varitek brings the ball down like that, you know the ball was up and in. And I got to imagine when a pitcher is around the plate, and you can see right there, Albert's not going to get thrown out because he knows that that will not help the Orioles tonight. But when a guy's around the plate, he struck out 17 in his last ball game. I got to think umpires, they tell me all the time, we want to call strikes. So you get the ball in that location, which Clemens did so well for the Red Sox.
Harold Baines on the ground on one hop at second baseman Jose Offerman, who will throw Baines out.
So the Orioles threw 5 hitters that put 2 balls in play, both of them on changeups. The ball that DeShields scalded to right field was a changeup, and right there, Harold a little bit out in front of it, hits off the end of the bat. Now, Pedro tells you he doesn't want to strike a lot of guys out, would like to have easy innings. I just think his stuff is so good and his location even better that it's hard to make contact sometimes.
Get ahead quickly of Jeff Conine. So as we showed you when we went around the Orioles defense, Conine making his 10th consecutive start at first base. Will Clark took some ground balls today. Jumped in the cage and took some BP. So Will is closing in on trying to get back and help buoy this Orioles roster. There he is. He was chirping and making a lot of noise around the cage today, as he always does.
Pedro Martinez reminds me when I was a kid and I had a wiffle ball.
We all did.
You know, you could make it move and hitters had trouble hitting it. At least the guys I played with.
2-2 now on Jeff Conine. Martinez staked to the early 3-0 lead by his Red Sox mates in search of his 6th win of the year. Brought out the breaking ball that slid away from that outside corner.
They hadn't thrown too many of those tonight, only the 2nd inning. But it's a devastating pitch because of the arm angle. Thought he's got to break about 3 feet.
Jeff Conine got a piece of that 3-2 fastball.
Well, the numbers don't lie, and last year he goes 23-4. Tom Davis made a very good point. In 213 in the 3rd innings, he only gave up 160 hits, 37 walks. So he had, with walks and hits, less than innings pitched. You don't see that very often in Major League Baseball.
Got a blow fastball by Jeff Conine. Pedro Martinez has fanned 4 of the first 6 Orioles hitters he's faced tonight. Red Sox lead at 3-0 when we come back to the yard.
Sam Adams, the world's most award-winning beers.
Don't stop, keep on doing what you're doing.
Looking for a heating and air conditioning contractor that can service you where and when you need it? Whether you're in need of service or installation, Chiltrol's world-class personnel will go to any extreme to provide you with the latest service technology and quality equipment that Trane has to offer. Chili says, let Chiltrol provide all your heating and cooling, installation, and service needs. Fly with Chiltrol and find out where Chili lands next.
Tonight's Antwerpen hit for the cycle contestant is Stephanie Louie from Randallstown, Maryland. Stephanie, if a Baltimore player hits for the cycle in tonight's game, you'll win a new vehicle from Antwerpen Automotive. For more information and to register for the Hit for the Cycle contest, stop by any Antwerpen Automotive location or log on at 3WAntwerpenAuto.com. Yankees, Detroit scoreless 2nd. Toronto, Tampa 1-1 in the 2nd. Top half of the 3rd, Boston leads the Orioles 3-0 and more from Michael and Jim.
Okay, Tom, thank you very much. We do indeed go to inning number 3. Sox got 2 in the 1st and then got a solo run in support of Pedro Martinez in the 2nd. Here's Trot Nixon. Nixon looks at the breaking ball from Ponson on the outside corner. So Nixon now 4 for 6 in this series. He's driven in a couple and scored 3 times.
I'm going to go back, and I don't want to, again, I'm not going to just keep talking about this. This will be the last time, but here's a young man that last year in April was 4 for 38. A young player, #1 draft choice.
This has launched a deep center. Brady Anderson has turned and will get back near the track to make the one-handed grab.
So he goes 4 for 38, and they don't send him back to Pawtucket. They work with him. Jimmy Williams comes out and throws him down the cracks. They don't bury him, and he ends up having a marvelous year. I think at some point the Orioles are going to have to do that. If you have somebody you think that can play up there, you'll want to find out. And he's playing a AAA. If somebody gets hurt, play him. You find out. That's what Jimmy Williams is all about.
Brian Dahlbach, first pitch swinging, rolled at shortstop Mike Bordick. And Ponson has 2 quick ones here in inning number 3. What you're talking about, Jim, is something that the Orioles have decided to resist the last few years in putting together the major league part of the organization. We were talking about the last couple of nights, the last couple of drafts that the Orioles have gone through. Good. Looks like it's going to have some young talent that maybe in 3-4 years, by what they're doing now in the lower echelons of the minors, can get up here and help at the big league level. But this goes back now to, what, 96, when the decision was made not to trade Bobby Bonilla and David Wells before the trade deadline. And, of course, the Orioles went on to win a wild card and get in the playoffs that year. Veritek with a drive to deep center. Brady Anderson on the track, timing that mini jump up against the wall to put it away. So Ponson kept Veritek in the ball yard, and Brady Anderson went back to get it. 3-0 Boston.
I need you to find these people now.
Okay, boys, release the hounds.
Searching for someone at your car insurance company after dark? At Geico Direct, we're here 24 hours a day. In fact, one 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
We set out to build a new full-size truck unlike anything else on the road today. Its 32-valve I-Force V8 engine will redefine performance, and its one-piece frame rail chassis will give new meaning to strength. And yet there is one crucial area where we fall short of most other competitors in our class, and that's price. Introducing the new full-size Toyota Tundra. Have we gone too far, or have others not gone far enough?
Take a look at our Geico Direct highlights. Orioles sending through the first 2 innings. 6 batters, 4 of them go down on strikes. Here's Brady swinging to lead off the game. Third hitter B.J. Surhoff freezes him. And here's Albert Bell, 3-2 pitch. Albert thinks it's inside, might have been. That's the third strikeout, and right here, swing and a miss on a 3-2 fastball, about as nasty as it gets. Again, Joe Kerrigan, he just said, listen, I just sit here, I watch this. He said nobody that he's ever seen can throw the cross-seam fastball, right-handed pitcher to right-handed batter, better than Pedro Martinez. And you just saw it to Conine.
Absolutely devastating action on it. We'll see if the Orioles can start catching up to it here in the bottom of the third. Greg Myers, who is a late entry into the starting lineup tonight for Charles Johnson. Into talking to some of the O's PR folks who asked Mike Hargrove about it just a few minutes before this one. Mike said that just wanted to get Greg Myers in against Pedro Martinez tonight. And another left-handed bat to swing against the very tough Martinez.
Well, you got Jeff Facero, a left-hander, pitching tomorrow night or tomorrow afternoon, and then right-hander Brian Rose. So. But 2 day games, so maybe Charles will catch the other 2 games.
Went down and away from Myers, the Phantom. Took something off, Jim. Looked like a changeup.
Well, it was, and why it's so difficult to hit Martinez, because 1-0, Greg Myers is looking for a fastball. He gets a changeup, and then 1-2, he gets another one. And look how this ball just kind of goes away. Great movement, great location. Didn't have to throw a strike ahead in the count, 1-2. And again, it's just not only the stuff, but the location what makes this guy so tough. You don't know what's coming.
31 times since he put on the Red Sox uniform. He has fanned 10+ in a game. And as Jim and I both alluded to tonight, fanned 17 Tampa Bay Devil Rays last Saturday and got beat 1-0 by Steve Traxel
who then went out and backed up that virtuoso performance in Yankee Stadium last night. Went 7 innings, shut the Yankees out. So here's Mark Lewis. Mark playing third base tonight, and if you're just joining us, Cal Ripken not in the lineup this evening. Cal, who went deep with his 7th home run of the year last night. That surgery he had on his lower back last September, the scar tissue from the surgery has caused a little bit of a nerve irritation in the lower back. So Cal not going tonight. I asked Mike Hargrove about it before the game, and Mike said he doesn't think it's anything real serious, but obviously it's going to be monitored closely the next couple of days. He kept Cal out on the turf up in Toronto, and the Orioles' travel also, Jim, this year has been rather brutal at times. Lewis with a fly ball to right. A lot of room out there for Trot Nixon. Put the squeeze on it for out number 2 here in the 3rd. So let's look at our IWIF injury report. And as we said, as we started the show tonight in the open, 3 of the marquee names that most came to the yard to see tonight not going because of injury. Cal Ripken with the back flare-up. Nomar Garciaparra with a hamstring. He's already on the 15-day DL. And Carl Everett, who had a tweak of the quadricep last night. Well, Jimmy Williams said it best, I think, before the game. He said, listen, we're going to miss Garciaparra and Everett. And, you know, obviously with Cal out, people come to see this game. It looks like it's going to be sold out tonight. It's probably 48,000 people. It hurts the game of baseball when 3 quality players like that are unable to perform. I really hope they all get back in a hurry. Martinez evens the count at 1-1 on Mike Bordick. There's Carl Everett. And Jim, we did not get a chance to see much of him, and now with the divisional baseball with the Houston Astros and that NL Central. What a quality hitter and very aggressive player he is. Well, he said that, you know, they said, listen, you have a quadricep pull. He said, I can't go half speed. That's just not the way I play the game. And, you know, here's another number 1 draft choice that, I guess, Leo, the late bloomer. It's Carl, the late bloomer. He has matured into a great player. Martinez thought he clipped some of that outside corner with his breaking ball, but Terry Kraft did not go up with the right hand. And Mike Bordick, this ball just a little bit off the corner. You can see that big break. And once again, Veritek trying to present it to Terry Kraft to trying to get the strikeout. Bordick brought out that emergency hack there on a 2-2 to stay alive. It's like you've broken down on the highway and you're going for the trunk and you're in an emergency. That's what. And I'll tell you what, this guy, if anybody is going to bring out the emergency hack, it's Pedro Martinez. He rocks and deals the 2-2. Got Bordick on a breaking ball. 9 Oriole hitters have gone down in a row. Pedro Martinez has fanned 6 of them through 3. Red Sox lead it 3-0.
At Giant, our fresh ideas don't just happen. They're grilled with an Italian flair. They make a quick toss and send your taste buds reeling with flavor. Our fresh ideas put the in morning and stem from the very heart of nature.
We've got fresh ideas, great values too. At Giant, my Giant.
Born into a family where baseball was a tradition, raised in a town where baseball is a passion. The numbers are staggering. 400 home runs, 3,000 hits, 2,632 consecutive games. And who knows how many glasses of milk.
I give my thanks to baseball fans everywhere.
Cal, we thank you.
Touch-up paint. Oops. Bendix brakes. TRW tie rods. Rabbit's foot. Advance Auto Parts carries more parts than any other store, including one you won't find anywhere else.
First driving lesson?
Advance Auto Parts. The best part is our people.
HTS coverage of Orioles baseball on a Friday night at the Yard, being brought to you by Bob Davidson Ford, home of Baltimore's best deals. They'll make it happen. By Jenkins. Do you need legal help? No, go with the winning team. Jenkins Block and Associates. They work for you. And by Heineken. It's all about the beer. Heineken. Red Sox lead it 3-0.
Beautiful spring evening here in the month of May. That little lady knows that, but she wants to see the Orioles start to put some lumber to Pedro Martinez. Martinez has retired 9 in a row, fanned 6 Orioles, and Red Sox mates have got him 3 to work with. Now Sidney Ponson will go back out. Face Troy O'Leary to lead it off here in the 4th. First base umpire Tim McClellan walking down toward home plate and looking at something in the area of right behind the screen behind home plate. So we're not quite sure what this may be about. Now we've got a member of the ground crew coming out to the mound. Oh, I see. Tim thought maybe that he could get some of the equipment out to help manicure that infield from behind home plate, but Jeff Conine wanted a little manicure job done down there. Could go ahead and just drag the whole infield right now. Why we see the young man go about his due diligence here at the yard. We'll let you know that Alex Rodriguez, Edgar Martinez, and all of Lou Piniello's Seattle Mariners are coming to the yard. 3-game series, May 23rd through the 25th. A lot of good seats still remain for all 3 7:05 games. You can get your tickets by calling 1-888-848-BIRD or online at www.theorioles.com. Sidney Ponson all set to go now. Against Troy O'Leary. Got O'Leary swinging through a fastball his first time. Now last season's second half of the year, blast-off mode Troy O'Leary was in, and he carried it right through into the playoffs. Fly ball left field. An easy chance for B.J. Surhoff to take care of it. So Ponson's gotten O'Leary twice tonight. Jim, it appears that Sidney finally got him settled down here now as he came out of the gate, and that's what we talked about again. Maybe a little bit too hyped up in terms of this, or trying to make it into a personal duel with Pedro Martinez.
Well, I think either that or being a little bit apprehensive about the fact that he felt he had to be perfect, which is about the same thing. I mean, didn't get hit hard. I mean, it's not like they're hitting a bunch of home runs, something that's hurt them all year long. A couple of singles with a bunt in the middle in the first inning for 2 runs, and then a base on balls for Mike Stanley, 4 in a row, and then a looper to right off the bat of Wilton Veras. And once again, this is not about beating Pedro Martinez. This is about doing what the Orioles would like to have Sidney do, not only tonight but the rest of the year. Just give him a quality start, keep him in the game. Some nights he's going to be dominating. Some nights he's going to struggle a little bit. And as Sammy Ellis said, mature as a pitcher. Don't get too overjoyed when you pitch the kind of games like you did against Minnesota when you shut them out with 4 hits. And don't get too down when you pitch some of the other games where you get pounded. That's just part of Major League Baseball, especially in this season.
1-2 pitch, and Stanley will lift the right. Albert Bell will take care of it. And a couple of fly ball outs for Sidney Ponson here in inning number 4. Sidney did not get a decision last June here at the yard as he faced the Boston Red Sox, but threw very well. Allowed 3 runs in 7 innings. But Jim, you referred to that Sidney effort against the Minnesota Twins the day after Cal Ripken collected his 3,000th hit. 27 changeups that game thrown by Ponson as Willie Morales did the catching that night, that afternoon of Sidney. Now, would that be something you'd like to see somewhere incorporated into the Ponson repertoire as going to the changeup? He did it even when he was behind hitters in Minnesota.
And he did it in the first inning, but he didn't make good pitches with it. And that's what he has to do. You look at any of your good pitchers, it's about stuff. He's got that. Maybe he's still got to work on his movement. Trying to get his arm out in front, throw a few more 2-seamers. But he's not one of these guys that has the kind of movement like Pedro Martinez. He has the velocity, but he's not as deceptive. Ball's a little bit straighter. So you have to make it move. And how you make it move? You relax, you get the ball out in front of you, you kind of have that nice loose wrist.
3-1 now on Wilton Veras. Veras that broken as he flared a base hit to right his first time. 23 years of age, a young man from Aruba.
You know, you're going to lead the major leagues in pitching. You need somebody that can play third base. So there's the numbers, you know, for a youngster, only 22. You know, Jimmy Williams had great work ethic. He's not going to kind of give you the power that John Ballard can do, who's out with a knee injury. But he has played very well defensively.
3-2 pitch, and Veras will follow that a play. Well, Sidney had an excellent start last year, Jim, and one time he was 8-4 before the All-Star break. And then a lot of conversation about whether he finally got a little bit arm weary in the second half of the season. And we'll talk about that with regard to Ponson as we continue on through the course of the night. There's no question about, though, that most around the game feel that certainly quality major league stuff this young man possesses.
I think another thing you like is his durability. When you look at his windup, it is a windup that will be conducive to pitching a long, long time because it's very compact. You know, pretty good leg drive. It doesn't put a lot of pressure on the elbow or the shoulder because it's a good windup. It's a matter, again, that maturity factor.
Again, the 3-2 went to the breaking ball. Ground ball at third baseman Mark Lewis will throw out Veras. So inning over. Let's go to the bottom of the fourth. Red Sox lead at 3-0.
The only thing that comes close to the